Hey, YouTube family, it's your boy Mike the Businessman. All right, so today I just kind of wanted to jump into something that I'm really passionate about. And for me, it's all about building generational wealth. That's what I do. What I do. That's why I take on mentees, trying to help people better themselves, be able to build their own book of business, and not have to be relying on third parties, right? So I feel like. You're building, it's almost like building a house on sand, right? It's on a shaky foundation. So that's my viewpoint when it comes to actually using these platforms out there. Most of you guys have heard of platforms like Turo, Hire Car, Get Around. So I know a lot of you guys, that's probably your first foray into the car rental business. That's how you were introduced into it by other gurus on YouTube. But I guess I feel like I'm that voice in the wilderness and I'm just yelling out that there's a better way, right? I mean, yes, you can start that. I call that the training wheels phase, right? And all my mentees go through that phase. I walk them through how to set that up. But that's not the ending point, right? There's a final destination, and it needs to be making that logical step up to private car rentals, okay? And that's where I want you. That's what I want to talk about today. So for me, it's like, why? Okay, Michael, why don't you like these car sharing platforms? Okay, I'm going to address a few reasons that I don't like them. Number one is who owns the data. Okay, with these car sharing platforms, they own all that data. At the end of the day, your business is nothing if you have no data. Okay, if you don't have an email list, you don't have a phone number list, your business is nothing. How do you retarget customers when it's slow? Are you busy hoping that the algorithm picks your car and then you get that beep for a rental? What happens when you don't get that? You don't have a business then. Okay, you can't make your notes, and then you end up, the bank repos your cars. Okay, so that's the problem. Number one, you don't have data. On the other side, if you own the private car rental business, you own the data. You have the customers' names, addresses, email, phone number. They voluntarily give you that information on your website. You could even just have a coupon on there that they, get 5% off their next rental if they give you their email address or phone number. So you can actually do stuff like that with private rentals. With these platforms, you're limited. You can't really do that unless you need. So that's my number one issue, right? Who owns the data and can you use the data? The second thing is, once again, it's related to the first one, but then by virtue of having the data, now I have my own book of business. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, I can retarget those clients. You have repeat customers. You're able to have loyalty programs. You're able to give discounts to frequent customers, right? You have those guys that come back regularly every week, and it's almost like you start to build a relationship with these customers. So it's not cold traffic all the time. Now you've got more hot clients that just keep coming back, and that's what really sustains a lot of the bigger car rental companies. Like during the winter months or times when it's slow, it's having the repeat business that keeps coming back. You're not getting that with these algorithms, all right? You're getting brand new faces all the time, so you're constantly having to hit reset on dealing with these jerks that just come mess up your car. They leave, they're entitled because Turo always supports them, and you're at the mercy of their reviews, so you bend over backwards, literally, to please them, just so you can get that 5-star review or keep your all-star status or your power host status, right? They all those things are created by these apps to almost, so to speak, control the hosts, and with your own private rental business, you're not at their mercy anymore, right? So now when you're actually giving good customer service to companies, you're doing that for your brand, right? For your company, not for them, okay? At the end of the day, the 5 stars they're giving hosts on Turo, it's still limited to their platform, right? The day your car is off or the slightest complaint a customer makes, they could delist your car just like that. And so once again, going back to that shaky ground, that shaky foundation, that's another thing you face with these platforms. I think another reason, a very obvious reason, which I know I get a lot of people complaining to me about. Matter of fact, just this morning alone, that's kind of where the inspiration for this video came. A good friend of mine, sent me a screenshot because he got a few cars. He wanted to start doing car rentals, and I advised him on the better way to go, but he still went the Turo route, and so he sends me a screenshot. Somebody had rented out his car for 5 days. 1,200 miles for 5 days, or 1,250, something like that. Guess how much he was getting? $168 for 5-day rental, 1,250 miles. 1,250 miles. This was a Nissan Sentra, an economy car. Okay. Now on the flip side, right? So guess how much the customer was getting charged? The customer actually paid to a 250 or 60 something trip fee. Plus, they get their insurance on there. So Turo alone is making almost double what the owner of the car is making. All right, it's bad enough too that 168 they're probably going to take their fee. So if it's depending on what plan you're on, they'll take anywhere from 10% to 30%. So he's going home with peanuts. Now, for some hosts, it's like, oh yeah, that's perfect. My car note is only $200 and something anyways. I do that a few times a month, and I'm in the profit, right? What they don't realize is depreciation is real. Okay, a lot of people have become jaded post-COVID, right? They think, oh yeah, used car values appreciate. They think cars are appreciating assets. This is not the norm. I'm sorry to tell you that. This is just happening right now because our economy is just crazy. All the policies, the bad policies and trickle-down policies that the government has been doing and just throwing a bunch of money at people, it just created a frenzy, a consumer frenzy, a consumer spending frenzy, and that's what's been driving all these prices up. Don't forget, ignore all this chip shortage stuff. The chips are available now. There's actually quite a big supply of cars right now. It's just that they're holding it back purposely. It's a whole big thing they got going on, but I digress. The point of the story is Turo is making way more than the host, who eventually at the end of the year has to give account to depreciation. Okay, when that car runs up over 100,000 miles in a year almost at this rate, he's gonna have to deal with the fact that the car is worth almost nothing. Okay, and so a lot of this chump change he thinks he's making now, he's going to have to pay. He's gonna reckon with that when it's time to trade that car in or try to sell it in the secondary market. So these are just some of the issues I have with these platforms. This is why I always preach to go ahead and start your own platform. So what I kind of propose to my mentees is starting off with a hybrid mode. So we have a system where I teach them a hybrid mode where they get their feet wet with the platforms, but there's a strategy behind it, which I teach them, and a strategy of being able to build your book of business simultaneously while you're on those platforms, while you're also getting your private car rental, you're giving steam to your private car rental business, and then hopefully they stay in the training wheels phase for at least a month, 2 months, and at the end of the 2 months, they're ready to go full private. They've learned everything they need to do to go ahead and start getting their phones ringing, so people start calling you and not you chasing after customers. So that's really the strategies that I prefer and I teach. Okay, so I just wanted to share my views on this. Some of you guys might disagree with me. There's people out there that swear by Turo, right? They give themselves all kinds of nicknames like Turo Cow, Turo Goat, Turo Elephant, Turo King, Turo Queen. They're probably going to send me a bunch of hate mail after this, but I still stick to it, right? The people I have seen that are making six figures in Turo are either people that are brokering other people's cars, so they don't care about the miles being run up on your car. Especially the cats out in Miami running this business, they take over 50, 60, 100 cars from different hosts around the country. They're running for them. They're making their money because they have no skin in the game. So they're almost like another Turo. So once again, you're almost like you're being raped twice. You're losing to Turo, then you have a broker moving your car for you, and you're paying him for that service too. So you're barely making anything, and then you're just putting so much wear on your car. So and then also you've got the other people, maybe the sole guy he's got a few cars in his fleet and he's running them like hell. Like he literally spends all day long, like literally 12 hours minimum a day running cars. And I'm sorry, if you've done any car sharing platform rental before, it is a lot of minimum wage work. I don't know about you, but I tried that for about a month and a half, and I'm sorry, I almost went back to corporate America. I could do other things with my time than be cleaning and washing out cars and dropping off cars for people and all day long. Heck no. I don't do that now, and I don't even teach my mentees to do that. Okay, so that's my issue with it, right? So yes, you might have made 100,000 by running almost 20 cars, but what did you give up? Do you have time for your family? Do you have time to take a vacation, to do anything else? Can you even switch your phone off for 30 minutes? Probably not. So you've traded time for money, sadly, instead of doing it the other way around. You're working completely in your business, not on it. So there is a better strategy. There is a better way, and that's kind of like what I teach my mentees. And so I just wanted to share this, and I'm curious on your thoughts. Put your comments below. Let me hear, am I right? You guys agree with me? Am I onto something or not? let me know. I'm curious to know your thoughts. All right, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. I'm gonna try my best to post more, but I just need to see some interaction from you guys. If you want to hear more from me on this, then I post a lot on Instagram. You guys can also check my Instagram page out at Mike_the_businessman. But I'm new to YouTube, so I'm just getting used to it. If the video doesn't come out very well, I'm sorry. I'm new to all of this. Forgive me, but I hope that the information I provide is good enough to justify that, right? So I look forward to hearing from you guys in the comments. Please make sure you like and subscribe this video. I guess I hear it helps with the analytics and all of that. So thank you very much, and share this with somebody you know. Thank you very much. See you guys later.